shout out to Hoops Jargon, man. I'm gonna add you to the crew, man. This crew called Hoops Jargon. They've been getting at it, man. They the ones that's gonna grill you, man, because they majority are all Houston people. So that's
shout out to Hoops Jargon. Shout out to
Hoops Jargon, man.
Shout out to Hoop Jargon. Shout out to my boy C. Hendo and my boy Kendrick Perkins, man. Texas in the building, man. Y'all, we got a good show lined up, man. I live a busy life, but man, I want to hook y'all up, man, when these subject matters that I've been talking about forever on YouTube come to fruition. And I gotta kick it with the people who done kicked it with me. And we're gonna talk about Lonzo, and I'm gonna bring my boy DJ Ron Cut into the mix. So without further ado, DJ.
What's good, man? How's everybody doing today?
Man, I'm doing blessed and highly favored. How the old school say?
Yeah. Blessing and highly favored.
Yeah, man. So we on, man. I got my boy DJ. I got my Lonzo jersey. Still being relevant back here, baby. Hopefully. If y'all see, got LeVar to sign it when I went to that JBA game a few years ago. So,
yeah.
We official like a referee whistle around here.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
This
yes,
ain't
sir.
all
Yeah,
talk.
see. Oh, no. Shout out to Rap God Reloaded, always showing love up here bright and early. And so, yeah, man, so let's get into the subject matter, man. As you know, and DJ covered this yesterday, that it's funny, everybody kind of covering it now. And people, I sense a lot of disingenuous YouTube coverage of this, you know what I'm saying? Because for obvious reasons, a lot of people ain't rocking with Zoe. But, everybody covering because they see he is a better player. And as Mark Stein has, was it Mark Stein, right?
Yeah, it was Mark Stein.
Yeah, reporting that the Lakers are heavily favored to get Lonzo and the Pelicans will not match. And that's the important part. Somebody can want you all they want you when you're a restricted free agent. I think the Pelicans are ready to move on from the Lonzo experiment. You know what I mean? And so I just think this is a situation where both parties, it works out perfectly because they want to highlight their two ball dominant guys, and Lonzo needs to go somewhere with veterans. And we'll talk a little bit about that later. But DJ, what are your opinions so far about that?
Yeah, I think it's best for both parties. It didn't work out. It just didn't work out. The organization doesn't view Lonzo as an asset, and they feel that they could go younger, and that's their prerogative. They're right in their opinion to do that, and Lonzo is right to go to greener pastures. And as for Lonzo Ball, can we finally stop saying he's going to Charlotte? There's no reports. I would love for all Ball brothers to play on the team, same team. That would be cool, but it won't be Charlotte. And when that Charlotte, like they're treating Charlotte like it's a contender or something. I've seen other content creators say if Lonzo goes to Charlotte, they're a top 5 team, and it doesn't make any basketball sense. Speaking of the Charlotte Hornets, they won't go anywhere until they address the 5 position. I don't care if LaMelo's my favorite player or not. If they don't got a legitimate big man, they won't go anywhere. The East is improved. A lot of teams are loading up. Rick Carlisle, who is a good coach, went to the Pacers. So the Pacers are going to be good.
That's facts. The Pacers are going to look like the Paul George Pacers. Just watch. When they had Frank Vogel coaching them, they were a well-coached team with a lot of young talent that was afraid of nobody. They just had the unfortunate circumstance of going against a prime Miami Heat with LeBron James. Right. That's the team that kept stopping them. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I can kind of see that brewing over there. So, yeah, the East better get their shit right, man, because Rick Carlisle can coach his ass off. Y'all better believe that. Situation got a little stale.
And, brother, don't forget the Toronto Raptors. They'll be playing at home in Toronto. They was playing in, I think, Tampa Bay, and that's just not home. COVID really ruined their season.
Yeah,
I expect them to improve.
That's a great point. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, because, when you're not home, man, it's just not the same. And anybody who plays sports past the high school level can understand that. It's just something about when you're playing at home, man. It's maybe you just the familiarity of it. Maybe it's just that Well, it's a such thing called depth perception in your court. And your court, you know how the acoustics are. It makes you comfortable. I don't know what it is. You know, the fans don't hurt. That part is true as well. But and I would say this: Toronto has cultivated a pretty good culture. Now that's probably more because Drake and that chic dude that goes all the games. But Toronto is like a culture now. You know what I mean? And so yeah, it's very damning when you lose that dynamic. And shout out to my boy, Between the Game Sports, Will Johnson. He says, man, I was going to hit you about this. Man, I'm going to bring you on the panel, bro. I know you got something to say about it, man. So hang tight. My boy, Rob Guy below says, Pill just hired an assistant coach from the Phoenix Suns. You know how that goes, man. When you win, everybody wants your assistants because everybody wants to get to that winning formula.
Exactly.
You know how that goes.
Hey, Hoop, can you read that one? Rap Guy says Hornets need a backup center and a point guard. They got a point guard, LaMelo.
Come on, Rap. What you doing, baby?
No, there's some people that believe that LaMelo's a shooting guard, even though his assist numbers are better than most starting point guards. It's the weirdest thing. Shout out to Rap Guy.
Yeah, shout out to Rap Guy. And here's the thing, guys. Typically, when you got a 2-point guard backcourt, it doesn't lend itself well. You got to have defined roles out there. And LaMelo Ball is a point guard. He just had to be 6'7", 6'8", doing so. If he's as much a point guard as Luka Doncic is, you understand what I'm saying? So you don't need another ball handler out there. It's the point I'm making. You need somebody who can play off ball, who can handle it every now and again. And I think that's why you saw like Drew Holiday and Zoe not work out well. You got to have those defined roles out there. When you put Drew Holiday on a team with defined roles, look what you get. You get an NBA Finals appearance. You understand me? You got a defined 2 guard, a defined 3, and a defined point. That makes everything flow the right way. So I want to say that as we go forward.
Exactly. What I've always said, Hoop Jargon, on my channel, the best teams have defined roles. If you don't have a defined role, you ain't really going nowhere.
Absolutely.
And the Hornets have a lot to show. They didn't know who they wanted to be. And everybody's talking about their injuries and why they didn't make the playoffs to make the play-in game. No, it's more than injuries. A lot of players on their team wanted to be the man. And LaMelo had to, quote-unquote, earn it, even though he was a top 3 pick. But this is why I want Lonzo to play on a winning team. He has to play on a team with the identity. They know who they are. They won't sacrifice this game. I'm not saying Lonzo will have the ball the whole time, but I will say Lonzo will feel wanted. And when you feel wanted, it brings out the best type of basketball.
Yeah, I'll take it a step further. And now this is kind of like, where I'm going to kind of beat my chest a little bit. I've been telling y'all that from and by y'all, I mean YouTube populace, not DJ, that Lonzo needs to go to a team with veterans on it, because just for the reason he said, teams work best when they know where to be, and you got a guy on the ball who is smart enough to get the ball to those guys and not only get it to them, but get it to them in their scoring pocket, which means get it to them when they're most advantageous to make a score in their natural form. Not a dribble, kick it to you when there's 8 seconds left on the shot clock and do something. That's not what kind of guard Lonzo is. Lonzo gonna get you the ball when you want it, quickly, because he doesn't have an ego. And I was telling, the fellas, man, I was like, I want to see him on a veteran team, because that's what you need. You need a guy who is egoless but knows how to get his shot. I mean, let me akin this to Rajon Rondo. When Rondo was a rookie, he worked out so well because he knew what he had. He knew he had the best shooter in basketball. He had the former best big man in basketball. And he also had, one of the best 3 shooting small forwards, rather, in Paul Pierce. So he just knew to get the guys the ball because they're going to make him look good, because he couldn't shoot. Well, Rondo could never really shoot, but you know what I mean? He didn't make himself look bad trying to overplay. And there's something to be said about point guards like that.
Exactly. Rondo knew what his game was, man. That's why it worked out well for him. That's what Lonzo has to go to. He has to go to a team where he's the guy. When I say he's the guy, I mean the lead distributor. Now, even though I'm not a Clippers fan, it would be a good fit because I know Paul George as well as Kawhi, they don't want to play point forward. Their body language tells that in their play. So they'll let him be a point guard. yes, they'll get their attempts in ISOs, but it's a lot better than what Lonzo had with the Pelicans. If he goes to the Clippers, he may go to the Lakers. There's a report, like again, Mark Stein pointed it out. And now, brother, do you think that it's a bad fit for Lonzo to play for the Lakers? They said that Lonzo won't be able to play point guard if he plays for LA.
Shit, why would he be able to play point guard? I mean, because this is the thing, man. LeBron James is politically not the smartest guy to me, but as far as when it comes, we just talking straight basketball. He's a brilliant guy on that court. I think he knows. Excuse me. I think he knows he's getting long in the tooth right now. So for you to extend your career, it's like what they say: you do more by doing less. So I'm pretty sure that LeBron is going to allow Lonzo to play more on ball, just like how he conceded to AD for pretty much his whole tenure here in Los Angeles. So I think it's kind of reckless to say that LeBron is still going to try to be, the LeBron of old because he's not the LeBron of old.
No, I don't. I did a live show yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually watched full Laker games, especially the end of the season. LeBron James, he didn't play on the ball as much as he did past years. I was telling people that they're like, no, he's gonna be overly ball dominant. I said I think LeBron is wise enough to know that he's in the upper room right now. The upper room
Room.
when Jesus comes. Yeah, he's in the upper room right now. So he can't really do as much as what he did when he was younger.
Absolutely. Because again, man, I'm not the biggest LeBron fan, but I give players their props, man. I just evaluate what I see. He's a brilliant basketball player, so he knows he's on the, the back end of his career. So I don't see why he wouldn't let Lonzo be Lonzo. Now let me say this before I address your comment, Red Pill. One of my guys, man, on my intro, C Hendo, he told me I went to go watch the Lakers and Mavericks play the beginning of like around October 2019. I want to say it was a little bit before I moved to LA. It was the first game when you remember when Dwight Howard held old buddy and we hit the three to win the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was at that game. I was in Dallas,
Oh, okay.
I met with Hendo when he was telling me he's like, we was talking about the trade and all that, and he was like, man, and I'll keep it honest with you, man. I talked to Bron about it, and Bron was saying he never wanted to get rid of Lonzo. He wanted Lonzo was the one he wanted to keep. So there's that information there, man. That's coming straight from NBA Insider, man. So I do want to say that. So I don't see why it would work with him coming back. All right. So Red Pill says, who jogging and Lonzo on the Lakers would be the best fit out of all 30 teams in the NBA. Lonzo is humble
Yeah.
and
Shout out
unselfish, and I would take that boy.
to Hendo.
Yeah, y'all
When he
see him
said
though,
something,
man.
he
Yeah.
was true.
It's true, man. He told me so. It's so some of my opinions, especially about Russell Westbrook, some of those come from him. And it's not that he has an opinion either way. He just tells me what players say about him. And so he showed me screenshots before too. And so, I know C Hendo don't lie. So I'll say this now. I know when he just talking, sometimes me and him argue all the time. But when he talking about what somebody said, I trust it because I know he got that type of relationship with people. Let's see. All right, and Red Pill saying he also would take that boy with Schroeder any day. Schroeder's an arrogant asshole. Well, yeah, he that. Schroeder, what you think about Dennis Schroeder, DJ?
Dennis Schroeder, man. Well, I heard he's asking for some. He did a solid job. I'm not gonna hate on him fully, but it wasn't all that. He's a good defender, but he thinks he's better than what he is. That's the only problem. Whereas Lonzo, he's a humble guy. Lonzo never came out here and said I'm a superstar or something. He believes he's a good player, and he believes he's worth the market. Here, I was talking to some people on Flight Sports TV. Shout out to Flight Sports.
Shout out to Flight Sports.
And I was telling them the market rate. I said Lonzo's worth 17, 20 million a year, depending on the years given. There was someone who doesn't like Lonzo in the panel saying he's not worth that, and I said, well, Dennis Schroeder is asking for what, 4 year, 80-something million, 100 million?
It's 100 something.
Right? Who, Jargon?
Yeah, like he asked for 100 something.
Okay. So then the shooter averaged 15 points per game. Yeah. So I can't be a hypocrite and say Lonzo, who averages close to what Shooter does, I won't be a hypocrite and say, oh, Lonzo doesn't deserve that. That doesn't make any sense. It's the market rate.
Absolutely. And your audio's kind of getting a little jacked up, DJ, just a little bit.
TV contracts, money's going up. You're going to start seeing that more. Luke Kennard got paid $17 million a year, and he was
Yeah.
used as a role player this year.
Yeah.
You hear me now?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a delay. Yeah, it sounds a lot clearer now.
Okay, you can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was saying that if I heard to pay Lonzo within that range as well. It's just the market.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
It's
understand
not
how
personal.
people.
It's the market. Put this out there. Will take less to join his brother. Not right now. He switched age. You still there?
Yeah, man, it's like it's a big delay of when you going and then I'm talking, then I guess you can't hear it. You going. You might
You
need to
know what
fix
I'll
your
do?
audio. Yeah.
You know what I'll do?
Okay.
We'll have a pause whenever someone says something, and I guess it will help the delay.
Cool. All right. So yeah, go ahead and finish your thought, DJ.
Yeah, I was telling some brothers that Lonzo's not taking less money this year. He switched agents because he wants the bag. It's been reported. That's why he switched agents. So I'm
Yeah.
telling him he's not taking less money this year. Rich Paul don't get down like that. He doesn't have his clients taking less money.
Yeah, I can see that. And well, and I'll say this, man, in these spaces, everybody start talking about player getting the bag, and I'm not so much concerned with that. I mean, I want the player to get their money. Don't get me wrong. That's why they play sports. But I'm looking for like more of a fit. Like, are you somewhere where you're going to thrive? Are you somewhere where you're going to have an opportunity to become somebody and get accolades in your career? Because the money going to come after you establish yourself. And I think Zoe has established himself as a pretty good to, I wouldn't say he has matched his hype as he when he first came in the league, but now he stopped turning to a punching bag of jokes. You understand what I'm saying? So I think it was very important for people to understand that Lonzo Ball can play basketball for real, and all the stuff that people try to make him as, that's not true. You know what I mean? Saying that he's a bust, he's a bum. One of my members of Hoop Jargon called him the future Andre Miller. I'm just like, come on, man, stop it. So I think it's important he hit that milestone first, and he's done that. So now it's time for him to be considered a winner at the highest level, which I do think Lonzo Ball is going to be. So I want to say that. And shout out to my boy Sonny Lopez. Say, can I get a shout out for watching all the way from the Philippines? Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. Shanika, what's up, girl? Someone, what's up, Hoop and DJ? Let's see. DJ Kawhi just had surgery on his knee, so he was saying he's gonna be out for next year. So I gotta look into that side before I take that as gospel, but I appreciate that. Let's see.
Well,
All right, go ahead, DJ.
I was saying, well, shit, if Kawhi gonna be out for the year, I think Lonzo will take that out of his options.
Yeah, he should. He should.
Like,
Well, I
hell
mean,
no.
Paul George played good though, man. I guess it just depends on what Lonzo want out the situation. You know what I mean? Let's see. All right, my boy Will says this move works if LeBron goes to the block. Allow him to float like he loves to. Yeah, I mean, I think LeBron has committed to the old man game now. So yeah, let him get to the block, let him create like how Kobe used to do at the end of his career. He used to create a lot from that post position where he would either fade away out of it, he would do up and under, or he would fake the up and under and do his little complex and then finish like with another jumper. So yeah, I mean, well, then again, LeBron ain't as skilled as Kobe Bryant, but hopefully he's learned something over these years to get a little more crafty instead of being a downhill guy. What do you think, DJ?
Yeah, I think LeBron James, this offseason especially, I think he's going to work on his in-between game more mid-range, uh, more moves. Because that mid-range he does where he's fading across, he's going a different shoulder, that's not really a special move. That's just something where he's stronger than everybody
Yeah.
and more athletic, so he gets some space off that shot. Now he's realizing that he's older. He's got to do more than what he's doing now. So I expect LeBron James to work on stuff that he hasn't before. Um, I bet you LeBron James is sitting back and thinking, man, if I would have just learned how to play off ball more, this would have helped me out to breaking even more records, probably winning more titles.
Agreed. And it's like a lot of people get tight when I talk about this, but it's just like, man, LeBron has been wildly successful playing how he plays. But
You
the
still
problem
there?
is, yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
You hear me? You hear me, DJ? Man, your audio's a little messed up. You want to
Yeah, I hear you.
see if you can? Okay, I want to see if you can try to get out and come back
Yeah.
in. You can try that, see if that affects anything. All right, but anyway, like I was saying, guys, like, LeBron, he plays one way, man. Again, a lot of people get tight when I say this. A lot of people don't. And Taufik, I'll bring you in a second, brother. Um, a lot of people get tight when I bring up how LeBron James he plays in his system. Now, the past 2 years, he's he's succeeded to AD. He deferred to AD. Let me say that. But normally, he's very ball dominant, and the guys who play with him have to either be stretch forwards or they got to be dumped down bigs where they can catch and finish. That is not conducive to running a organic offense, and that's why everybody says when LeBron is off the court or he leaves a team, oh man, look what they did. They can't win nothing now. Okay, yeah, that's true because there was never a real system implicated where guys move organically without the ball because they basically are so dependent upon LeBron. And the best way to spoil a player is just you make him obsolete. So the stuff that made him really good, when you take that away from him, you take the confidence too. And that's a lot of people don't understand about playing in the system, man. And so, but I think LeBron's past that point where he demands or commands that type of situation. So I will say that. All right, I'm gonna bring DJ back, and then Taufik, I'm gonna bring you up too, brother. So appreciate y'all.
So how's my audio?
A lot better.
Great.
All right, there we go. We in the building. All right, so Red Pill says, Hoop Jargon, what's your opinion on Kareem Abdul-Drummond? Do you think he's re-signing? I don't think so. What'd you think of that with DJ?
Man, I don't think so at all. I think he's done. I think he's going somewhere else. He made a shirt mocking the name Kareem
Who?
Abdul-Drummond because he wanted some sympathy
Who?
points.
Oh, okay.
Andre
Okay.
Drummond. He literally made shirts making fun of that name. I'm like, this dude got to go, man.
Yeah, I like Drummond. Don't get me wrong. I just don't. I think he thinks too highly of himself, just like a Dennis Schroeder. And he definitely, I mean, he's implicitly stated he's not coming for the minimum. So, I just don't know how this is going to work out. I just don't see it.
I blame Jimmy. I blame Jenny Buss for that, man. When she put that picture of her and Andre Drummond in comparison with Dr. Buss and Kareem, I was like, oh boy, the media's gonna have a field day with this shit. And
Yep.
that's what happened. Andre Drummond,
Yep.
he did a bad job of just, I don't know, he doesn't, to me, when I see him play, I don't see a player who is that killer. I don't see that in him.
Agreed. Yeah, I just don't think he ever been in position in a long time to have to be that kind of way. So it's hard to kind of. Hey, brothers, if y'all not on, I'm gonna ask you to mute it so we can get the audio, and then
Nice.
that'll probably help us out. It's some feedback we hearing.
Alright. Damn, like Drummond thing, like man, I don't even know, man. You just gotta.
I'm sorry, Tuffy, I muted you. My bad. I'm bringing it back. My bad. All right, go ahead, man.
I said the thing with the Drummond thing is that he has to be he needs some situation with maturity. He hasn't matured in my eyes. It's just like unlike I don't want to say that Lonzo is better than him or something, but come on, like he doesn't have that maturity that we see in Lonzo that even took maturity to even prove on himself. Like he's kind of like I want to do the same thing LeBron does. Don't be the leader, be the one in charge, and it doesn't work for you like it worked for LeBron. So you just gotta go because another thing is that they don't have the cap space to keep you. That's another
Yeah,
thing. You gotta
absolutely.
also understand they don't have cap space. So and there's a rumor that the Lakers are looking for a playmaker that's like of Alonzo Ball play style, like a distributor. So it's like, well, you just gotta give it what it is, and just there are multiple free agents, Ben Simmons, and so much. But Simmons is more of a fit for the Warriors. He can take Draymond's role and play point center or
Yeah, he
something.
really
So
can. That's
so
facts.
it's just best to let Simmons go to the Warriors, and you can sign someone that's not Lonzo because Lonzo does not demand too much. He's not asking for too much. Just 20 mil, that's enough. And if you can't give him 20 mil, you have to free up this cap space. Like do spring cleaning like Charlotte. That's the only way you can get him.
Okay. No, I'm with that, man. Yeah, I mean, and I say this all the time, man. Personalities matter, man. So, of course, defined roles matter. Like me and DJ talk all the time, but players have to be on board mentally. And some dudes, when you got some guys who think they're better than the guy who's clearly better than them, you're gonna have issues with people understanding the pecking order of when it's their time to shine or when their time to do their role because it's always gonna be frenetic. So I'm always gonna be up and down. So no, I think that's a great point with Drummond's mental makeup being a issue as well as a salary cap issue. So I'm with that all the way. My boy Tubbs says, bro, we just need AD healthy for a whole season, honestly. Well, we need a little more than that. Of course, we need AD on the court. Now, that's for damn sure. We also need those parts to fit because, again, LeBron's getting long in the tooth, whether y'all want to admit it or not. And we need guys who know their role, like me and DJ let in with it. And I think Lonzo is the best candidate to shore up that problem and give it a shooting that we always say LeBron need. He need a shooter. Zoe went from being like a 30% three-point shooter his rookie year to about damn near 40% three-point shooter. And if y'all don't know that flux, he basically went from being one of the worst to one of the best in the NBA at shooting a three. So that's a huge improvement. Also, free throws. He went from about a 48% free throw shooter, which is terrible. That's like Bruce Bowen terrible. Now he's like a 78% free throw shooter. So like he's done his job and improved his game. So you definitely gonna see a
Yeah.
different Zoe. And if you remember before Zoe got hurt and twisted his ankle in Houston, he was balling with the Rockets. I'm sorry, we were Lakers. We were up by 20 on the Rockets, and we ended up losing that game. Alonzo was killing until he rolled his ankle. So I
Yeah,
mean,
he was attacking.
he was
So
attacking.
he,
Facts.
I think him playing with LeBron is gonna bring back his attacking instincts, but I'm not sure he's gonna do that because knowing Lonzo, like it's a battle of the mind with him.
Yeah,
It's
I agree
kind of
with
like
that.
the same thing we say with Ben Simmons. Like it's the battle of the mind. Thing with Ben Simmons is that he doesn't even want to. Thing with Lonzo is that he just wants to shoot one side. So it's like, okay, can I just do one thing that I'm not used to doing? Because before Lonzo used to take what the defense gives him, but now it's like, man, I don't really care. I just want to shoot threes.
Hey, Tau
Yeah,
P.
DJ, there?
You go ahead, bro.
No, DJ was saying something.
Taufik, remember we was on Flight Sports, shout out to him again. And yeah, I'm there.
All
Me and
right.
Taufik yeah, I'm on there. Um Taufik brought that up one time and he was spot on with Lonzo, because we were saying that Lonzo loves taking threes more than attacking, and he has to fix that. And we had people saying, there's no problem with that. He should take as much threes as he wants. And I said, if y'all want Lonzo to be like go to another level, he's got to give the whatever the defense gives Lonzo, take advantage of that. So if they're giving you open lanes to drive, you go up there and yam on them and make them pay for leaving the lanes open. Hoop jargon. You can tell me if I'm lying or not. There were a lot of games where defenses opened the lanes for Lonzo just so he could drive.
Yeah, absolutely, because they know he's gonna go up there soft. And so when you don't put the fear in their rim defender that you're gonna go there and tear the rim down, all they're gonna do is just sit in the soft. They pretty much gonna olay you to the basket, daring you to do what that's not comfortable to you, and that's why they call it keeping the defense honest. That's why you have to present yourself as a threat, at least a threat that you're gonna go try to boom on somebody, because what they're gonna do is collapse harder, and then who's gonna be open? Your teammates. So Zoe got to work on his half court game in spaces like that. So yeah, man, you're on point.
Like I said, it's a battle of the mind. Because if he can get his mind right, he'll get everything right. Because yeah, he can work on his in between game, his dribbling, everything. But if he can't get the mindset in there, because Lonzo already has the step back game down,
Mm-hmm.
he already got certain moves down. It's just that it's the mind. If he can just make it himself to deconstruct the offense in his mind, he's gonna have a great season. It's not about physical or anything, because as much as we always say, oh, we need to focus on the physical. Okay, he can work on his dribble moves, but does he have the mind to say, you know what, the defense is gonna give me this space to land? It's about, am I gonna attack or am I gonna take threes even when they give me an open lane? So
Now,
it's a battle of the mind with him.
no, that's real talk, man. I appreciate that. That Tafiq, because I mean, because in this space, especially we start talking about the Ball brothers, we get some crazy ass commentary, man, and we all seen it. So y'all know I ain't lying. Before I get my little soliloquy, I want to say shout out to man Cool Kusami, man, brother at the Black Manosphere that I've come to know, man. Appreciate you joining the stream, brother. But yeah, so with Zoe, you hear all kind of crazy comments, man. People be all over the place with this hate or love. But yeah, like I say, the mental aspect is something big that Lonzo has to perfect. So he get outside of his head. You know who else who used to struggle from that? Chris Paul. Chris Paul used to get in these tight situations. He started thinking too much. And that's why he was susceptible to be blowing these 3-1 leads. And that's why everybody kind of makes fun of Chris Paul. But because he had these mental blocks. And you can tell. Because how do I know this? Because when I played basketball, it was certain times like I just was too much in my head. And stuff that you do routinely all the time, you can't even get out of it. Like it's like you're stuck. And some players get out of it better than others. Like for example, players go to like sports therapists, like guys who keep striking out and they just can't get their swing back. They go to like sports therapists to talk through the shit. It's a real thing. So like you said, it's a big thing with mind game. I will add this though. Zoe needs to add a few more half court moves into his repertoire to keep the defense honest. And it's only going to help him, instead of just being a downhill point guard passing up forward, ahead of the play like LaMelo does as well. He also got to get some intermediate part to his game too, man. So I do want to add that part as well. Let me say this too. Yeah, CMI said it. Yeah, Rap God, I don't know about that. The Westbrook and LeBron. No, Westbrook and Zoe. Uh, I
Yeah,
don't know
about
about that one.
Westbrook and Zoe. The only best similarity they have is they went to the same college.
They went to
That's the only
UCLA.
similar. So you can
Man,
say that they have that mindset in them, that they always want to go downhill. Because if you look at Lonzo, Zach Levine, and and Westbrook, they have that mindset of just being downhill guards. Like you can watch all three of them, and you see that same mindset. It's like UCLA provide guards that always go downhill. I don't understand. Like Alonzo would just attack with force and just go one way. Zach will do the same and just be in that situation. You saw that in his rookie season. He just always go downhill and attack. Lonzo did the same similar thing. So it's
Drew
like
Holiday too, and
he,
Collison.
and it's just funny. Like, it's just funny looking. Like they just need to. That's why I said it's a mental thing with all of them. Like you gotta understand how to deconstruct your offense. It's not about because on defense you got it down pat. On the offensive end, you just need to deconstruct everything and be like, okay, this is what I want to do, and this is what I can't do. Because he has a floater. Like let's not pretend like Lonzo don't have a floater. He just doesn't use. Like there are times when Lonzo will go for a floater and he will make it. It's just that the thing is that he doesn't do it consistently enough to keep the defense honest. So it's like, well, I cannot do this right now because the defense gave me a three. You have between a three and you have between a two. So you have to take the two every time. But in the era of threes, people think threes matter so much. So he's gonna take threes rather than just go for the easy two.
Yeah, and I hate that about where the game is going, man. People are so dependent on the three, man. I'm glad, like guys like Chris Paul, to mention again, they've kind of more committed to that mid-range game because all it is keeping the defense honest, man. And some people like Daryl Morris of the world who are backslide. He'll say how the 3 point in the corner and the top of the key are the most highest percentage shot in the court. Only to step back when he's with Philly. Now he's saying how twos should be worth threes. Something he said, well, threes should only be
He
worth two and
said
a half points. Like, dude, shut
that
up, man. Shut up.
that, that just made me frustrated about him. Like you just can't make that stuff up. But
Come
like
on,
out,
man.
like it just makes no sense. Like
Yeah,
three should be worth 2.5 points. So what about free throws? Free throws should be
exactly.
worth 0.5 points. Like what?
Well, because this is the thing. When you get nerds in the space of sports, they to from a calculation standpoint, it makes sense. Like there's coaches who do football and they never go for they never kick it ever. They always go for it because they say percentage wise you're better doing that. But they don't know that it breaks the flow of the game, and you better be that much better than the other team playing that way because all you're doing is bastardizing the sport. And also just shows that they're more just a master manipulator, man. That's all he is. He's a that dude's a snake oil salesman, man. He'll
He's
use whatever. Yeah,
he's analytics driven.
yeah. So he'll use whatever funny math to justify something to benefit him. That's all he's about. So you just got to peep game on something like that. So cool. Kumasi says, why don't taller guards practice floaters and post game? DJ, I'll let you jump at that one first. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's really. I don't want to blame AAU because there's some great AAU organizations and coaches. Some people I know, so this ain't pertaining to y'all, whoever
Okay.
listens. But they have taught all these kids to only shoot threes and not work on their in between. Look at LaMelo Ball, and I'm not trying to compare, but I'm just saying I like the fact because there was somebody saying LaMelo takes too many floaters. So wouldn't you rather have him take floaters that the defense is giving them in the paint, or a three that's someone's under grill, you just jacking up shots? You'll take the floater. That's what they got to work on, man. They got to. It's all in the mind. A lot of these guards want contact. They've been injured before, and all they think about, if I attack the basket, I may get injured. So it's a mentality thing. They got to go back in the lab and see what was successful. Look at all the guards and small forwards who have been champions. It's because of the mid range.
Yep.
They're
Yep.
giving you the mid range because they're guarding the three. And to see guards not take advantage of that is maddening.
It's unreal. Like look at Stephen Clay. Stephen Clay take the mid range all the time. And everybody love to bring up Golden State and talk about how many threes they shoot. But they don't talk about how Steph and Clay are always in mid range, coming off of pin downs, coming off of down screens, curling off of it. Like they do all that shit, man, and that's what leads to good point guard play, good guard play. To the point of the question, Toppy, you got anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think that the thing with guards is that back in the days, because for me, I used to be a huge Kobe fan. So watching him, he used to be a master of the post game and in between, basically the post and post game in general. So watching LaMelo do his floaters, it's just phenomenal because the funniest thing is that LeVar has been training him how to do the floater from his childhood. So all that thing that he knows how to do, he's already known how to do it from day one. Like I even watched a video once where LeVar was training him when he was younger at to do basic things like attacking the basket. Or hearing Earl Watson even say that he told LaMelo once that he needs to just attack the basket instead of just focusing on just shooting the jump shots all the time. And I'm just like, it's funny because doing things, the basic things like finishing and all that, it's been taken away in today's game because
Absolutely.
today's game has been inspired by Steph Curry, who, and I'm not trying to say Steph Curry is the reason and the problem, but Steph Curry is just has inspired this mindset that you just need to be a sharpshooter. But I think being a good sharpshooter, you need to also be a good sharpshooter on the inside, not just on the outside. And
Absolutely.
that's the thing. That's the thing people don't understand. Like Steph Curry got the inside outside game, but people are so focused on the outside game because Steph is such a good 3-point shooter. So people want to emulate Curry so bad that okay, let me just take threes. Let me focus on threes. Because me too, when I started playing basketball, I don't play on a competitive level though. My first key skill was just in the post. I'm not so good on the outside. I just go in the post, hit you with the post hook, and that's it. So it's just like basketball is so much is so much the construct of oh just stick to threes because you can take them. But why not balance everything out and say, you know what, I'll take threes this time. I'll take inside shot this time. Take what the defense gives you. That's the thing coaches fail to teach kids nowadays because kids want to be the Steph Currys, the Clay Thompsons, the new sharpshooters of today instead of actually be something that you don't want to be. Because look at Kobe back in the day. He was the master of the mid range and the post game, and all he does was just kill you from the mid range, kill you in the
Absolutely.
post, and all of those is something that we see is a lost art. But
Hmm.
seeing Chris Paul do what he's doing, it shows us that the mid range is back. Things like Lamelo hitting mid range, Lamelo doing all these floater shit. The inside game is back because we're seeing new rookies that are drafted doing the inside game instead of just go for jump shots all the time.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this, and the reason why you don't see guys like Kobe anymore, why you see guards that don't, to the point of the question, why you don't see them work on these things, because it's hard. It requires a lot of repetition. And so if you look at these trainers, they teaching guys all of these in and out, step back moves and throwing tennis balls at you and all this shit. Which I'm not saying that's not making them, improving a certain aspect of their skill level. But what it's not doing is making them thinkers. So when you're a thinker, you learn that you got to have a move, a counter, and a second counter. So like I told y'all, how Kobe was he excelled when he learned that Jordan game. Put somebody on your hip, either A, put your arm around them and go by them. B, keep them on your hip and rock on them, fadeaway jumper. Or C, fake that move. You do a fadeaway and an up and under move. So you got three moves at the same look. Guys now just want they default to their AAU training, so they just want to break somebody off the dribble and go dunk it, or break somebody off the dribble, step back and shoot a three, because those things look most pleasant. So what you'll see, and that's why I like Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is one of those cats, a younger guy who's taking on the challenge of learning the craft of what it means to be like a what they call a three-level scorer and having counters and counters. Because, and to Taufik's point, one of the easiest things to guard, y'all, if y'all didn't play basketball like that, is somebody who's gonna do the same shit every time up court. So especially you see with James Harden, like when he's with the Rockets, when it got to a point where you couldn't get those whistles no more, everybody knew what you about to do every trip up the court. So as the game got tighter, you couldn't get away with that shit no more because everybody know what you're gonna do. You're gonna come yo-yo, step right, step back, shoot three, or go hard left and try to finish. Like you got nothing else. And with Steph Curry, he's gonna give you multiple looks. And to again Topic's point, these kids watch the highlights. They don't watch the intermediate stuff. And then people talk about Clay Thompson all day, like, oh well, he had Clay. I like, what does Clay do? Shoot threes? No, he doesn't. Not just that. Clay Thompson scored what 60 points and took like what 5 dribbles the whole game. Like And it's some, and I think they don't teach that as much no more. Because I remember in college we had a rule like we played 3-on-3. You had 2 dribbles max for the whole possession. You only could take 2 dribbles, and I don't think they implement that as hard anymore. And so that leads to players being so dependent on one-on-one skills. And so I think that's the big thing. DJ, you got anything to add?
Yeah, let me read what Rap Gabriel Lotus said. He said, I have a question for DJ. Do Brandon Ingram shoots too many threes? He only gets to the line 5 times. That's low for a wing. Well, BI, if you study his game, he shoots mid-range pretty well. The problem with BI, he takes too many shots. That's the only problem.
3 minutes.
Yeah, man, that's the problem with him. But he does like to go on the mid-range baseline every few times. But he needs to rely on the mid-range more, I think. BI's slender frame, so that has impact to why he doesn't drive to the basket that he should. But the fact that he takes mid-range helps his cause. So what I want to see from BI, I want him to attack the basket more, just a little bit, but attempt more mid-ranges that he has started doing. Because when he takes a mid-range shot, it's hard to block his shot. He's, 6'9"? It's really hard to defend that. So I want him to do that more. But as for the Pelicans, they're the purgatory team. They're the team that won't go anywhere, even if they make the playoffs. I don't know. They just have bad luck or something.
Yeah, that's facts. All right, and Cool might say Rip Hamilton. Oh, I want to go back to his Tony Parker comment. Yes, man, because in Europe, they groom these guys differently. Like these guys, and that's why like when we have these international competitions like we see now, how they can compete with the best of NBA players, and everybody wonder like how they lose to this team, how they lose to that team, because these guys learn this intermediate part of the game. And over here, we tend to go with the AAU ball style. So what generally happens is in the right scenario, fundamentals can beat our talent. And that's why I like, like to your point, a guy like Tony Parker, because Tony Parker mixed all that stuff together, all that know-how, all that smart European play, and then brought over, the American style. He finally started learning how to shoot. And so, yeah, that's why he was a complete guard. And that's why a lot of people don't respect Tony Parker, because they don't even know what they're looking at. They look at numbers, like box score fans, I call them. Because Tony Parker didn't
I
never,
call
he
them
never.
stashy gurus, man.
Yeah, they suck. Like, dude, Tony Parker's one of the greatest point guards to play, man. Probably top 10, I would put him. And it's not because he ever led the league in assists, I don't recall. But he would pass to the guy to pass to a score. That's called a hockey assist. Tony Parker was masterful at that. You understand me? So a lot of people don't respect guys like that, and it's a damn shame. All right, so he says Rip Hamilton has a crazy float in the mirror. Yeah, I love Rip Hamilton. You talk about a guy that made not a lot of skill set. Rip Hamilton, now he always get my kudos.
Rip Hamilton was a 3-and-D player.
For the most part, yeah. For the most part.
So, yeah.
Yeah. He was like a 3 and mid-range D player. You know what I mean? He just was smart. He had a very high IQ. And if you appreciate good organic basketball, you gotta like Rip Hamilton. You know what? Damn near Klay Thompson without just being a marksman. He damn near was Klay Thompson before Klay Thompson in a certain capacity.
Yeah, to some extent.
He had no moves. Like, how many times you seen Rip Hamilton break somebody off the dribble?
Never.
Never, dog. He caught it, he triple threat, and he get the first step on you, he would go. But if he can get the first step, man, he would swing the ball because he know he had no handles like that. He still was highly effective.
Because it's funny, another person that's a master of the inside game is Manu Ginobili. Barely anyone talks about him.
Absolutely.
Because Ginobili, Tony Parker brought the floater game to the NBA. Then Ginobili brought the Euro step, which is a pretty funny move. Like I've even mastered that one. It's a pretty funny move. But honestly, man, when he brought it into the league, it was more creative, and it's something that gets the defense out of the way. But now it's like when you see Harden do it, it's like the defense already knows where you're gonna be. So it's not you're not fooling anyone. It's just that he knows how to draw reps to call fouls for him with that move. That's how dynamic it is.
Absolutely, yeah. And like I say, when you guys like Harden just kind of bastardizing the move when it's supposed to be a change of pace move, when somebody is kind of biting on you, attacking hard. So instead of you, because here's the thing, shot blockers are always timing your steps. So when I played college ball, I'm only 6'7", so I would block a lot of shots. And it's not, and I was athletic as hell too, but it's not just because I had like super long arms. I had short arms for my height. But all I would do is like it takes me 2 times to learn somebody's gather. When I learn how you gather, I know that you only gonna do one of two things. You know what I mean? And so I know how to just hone in on it because you can't just do some. Gravity works a certain way. So a lot of good shot blockers, they just measure your steps. So the Euro step was good because it messed people's timing up. They didn't know how to go up and block it because that extra little gather step and the little, the sway, it's hard to time the block. But when you do it every time, of course, guys gonna start to hone in on it. And so that's why I kind of cringe watching James Harden play in his prime because he got to the point, in my opinion, just manufacturing a move that's meant to be like a change of pace thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, all right, we'll give about 10 more minutes, guys, and I appreciate everybody being super active in the chat, man. That's what's up, man. About 15 watching live. If y'all got any more questions, let us know. But let's bring it. Okay, drop the mic in the building. What's up, boy?
Yeah, it was good, man. It was good. Oh
What's
yeah,
good?
and
So,
about Lonzo,
yeah,
where one question, like
no,
where do
go
you
ahead, bro.
think is the best fit for Lonzo in terms of like free agency? Because we've been hearing Lakers. I mean, Lakers joined the discussion though, but Lakers, Clippers, Bulls, even the Hornets is in the discussion, but it's not in the list. But I don't know, like which one is the best fit you think for him?
Chicago
I
Bulls.
think, yeah, there you go. Go ahead, DJ.
Yeah, the Chicago Bulls, and I hope I didn't cut anything off. The,
Mm-mm.
the Bulls fit with what Lonzo's trying to do with Donovan's offense. Zach LaVine and the Lonzo Ball with Vucevic pairing is deadly in the East. It will cause noise. They'll definitely be a playoff team if that move were to happen. Uh, all the pieces fit with Lonzo. They'll be able to run and gun. And yes, Zach LaVine will get his touches, but Lonzo as well will get his, especially when Zach LaVine needs to take a breather. They'll both start, of course, but I'm just saying there's wiggle room with that. So I would love to see the pairing of Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, and Vucevic. Um, if that ever happens, I see the Bulls being a fifth or sixth seed. That's just my opinion.
And you also see the resurgence of Lowry marketing, man. Because Lowry supposed to be the next Dirk, right? And
Right.
he ain't quite been fit the bill. So if you got a guy like Zoe to get him the ball, and that scoring pocket where he's comfortable, you're gonna see everybody like, damn, what's up with man? Damn, our Lowry marketing, he turned into a damn beast. Watch. But when you get him the ball like he want, man, he gonna turn that boy into some crazy, man. I put a
Yeah.
guarantee on that.
Speaking of Larry Markkinen, he might be the guy to go in order to clear space for Lonzo. Because thing is that the Bulls just don't need to do too much to get Lonzo, unlike every other team, like the Clippers or even maybe the Knicks or something. Like they don't need to clear house. The Bulls just need to clear a few things and that's it.
Absolutely.
But Larry Markkinen might need to go, so I'm not sure about Larry Markkinen. So that's another issue. But if they can keep Larry Markkinen without losing Kobe White, that that and still sign Lonzo, that would be a great move. But they need to clear cap space, a little cap space to sign Lonzo because they will still be able to afford his contract.
Man, the Bulls just need to find roles, man. How many names have we seen come and go through the Bulls over the years, man? Like Kevin Dunn was supposed to be the next Westbrook. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. And shout out to Flag Sports TV. You media train. I'm over here just getting talking in the organic fashion with these brothers. Man, y'all hit that like button if you have not done so to the chat, man. That does help out more than you know. Appreciate that for reminding me. But yeah, so um, we've seen guys come in and the pieces just not necessarily fit. And I think that you need a guy like Lonzo who just is like, and I say this all the time, like Peyton Manning. And I'm not saying he's an MVP player right off rip like Peyton Manning, but he's a guy you just got to give him the ball and trust his smarts to get people in the right place. Because Lonzo, I'm sure he can play everybody's position on the court. He's that smart. So you gotta let guys like him just figure it out on the court, like a Rajon Rondo kind of guy. You gotta let them just know. I mean, let them go out there and do their thing. So until you do that, man, I think it's gonna be. I think the best fit for Lonzo is go to a veteran squad like me and DJ were talking earlier, because it's gonna accentuate what he does best, which is put people in the right spots and succeed. So this kind of goes to what we saying earlier. How's the panel feel about Lonzo going to New York?
Oh wow, man, New York, man. Like, it would be good for his brand because New York makes sense for the brand, but already like Chicago is already gonna draw more hype. Like the UCLA backcourt is already popping even before free agency starts. By the time the season starts, it will even become more of a popular name since Airbnb. So we even hearing the UCLA backcourt. Like that would be the top of the news just for that. So Lonzo's brand is already gonna be good in Chicago, but I think with New York, it's just fit for him. It's fit for his brand. It's fit what the family wants. So if they want to do business, like New York is there, and he and Julius Randle are best friends. So that would actually increase a big connection in New York. So I don't see what's wrong with New York, but come on,
Okay.
Lonzo needs a tough guy coach. So Billy Donovan seems to work, but you need someone that will really toughen him up and be hard on him.
And
Okay.
and Tafik, you don't think Thibs will do that?
I think
Thibs is a
Tibbs will do
Thibs
that.
is a
I
tough coach.
I think Thibs will do that, but Billy Donovan can also do the same thing too. You also have to take note of that.
Yeah, I know
So
he'll
it's
do the
like
same,
50.
but Thibs,
It's like
Thibs is
a two battle of two coaches. One is a development coach, while one is a as a disciplinarian. Thibs is a disciplinarian. He'll just discipline Lonzo, while Donovan is just a development coach. He will develop the player and still be hard on him.
so I get what you're saying. Billy Donovan is a balance. Yeah, he'll be tough on you. It's all about development.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that. Because, well, here's the thing, man. Tibbs is not going to do nothing damn man. Tibbs is just going to maintain parts that fit and push you to your limits, and you're going to play until you drop. I mean, I think the book has been out on Tibbs a long time. You know what I'm saying? And so I think out of the two, I think I would rather see him play for Billy Donovan. With that being said, I don't think him and um, Julius Randle may be cool, but I saw enough of that being a Lakers fan. I just don't think a guard is going to succeed playing with Julius Randle, man. Julius Randle got the most tunnel vision. And like I say this all the time, man, that dude's so left-handed, he right-handed, man. He he just I don't see that working with Lonzo's style of play, man. Because Randle is a very ball dominant kind of guy, and I don't think that organicness can work out how Zoe plays. And I did not like how it looked in LA, so I would say
Lonzo's
that.
not really that ball dominant though, because
Well,
he's
he's
more
not
of
though,
a let me orchestrate the offense, a Magic Johnson like guy. Well, it
but
reminds me of John Stockton. I'm just get the ball to this guy, and you just do whatever.
he needs to though. If Zoe's going to be better, he has to get into the more into the program of the ball need to
You,
be in your
you,
hands.
hey, who, man?
Yo,
I remember when we would play AU in middle school.
uh huh,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I hear you.
Well,
Yeah, I
we
can
got
hear you, bro.
flying.
Is my mic acting up?
Yeah, a
Yeah,
little bit. It's like freezing, and then you come back in like a few 10 seconds.
I was saying, I remember. Yeah, I was.
dang, DJ boy, you got to get that Boost Mobile fixed, man.
I'm like freezing for real.
That's tough, man. But
No
yeah, no.
worries.
So Yeah, so we about to come to the end of the stream, man, and so I do want to say that I think this is a great thing that Lonzo
Yeah,
has the opportunity to come back to a veteran
let's
team.
let DJ say what he want to say. Like, let him come back.
I don't think he's in the queue.
He's gonna come back. He's gonna come
Yeah,
back.
he's not
Give
in the
him
queue
time.
yet.
All
All
right,
right,
let
so
him
yeah,
come
when
back.
we come back, we'll talk. Hopefully, I gotta go to work today. But no, so I think Zoe going to a veteran team is what's gonna help us get to that point. Well, help him rather get to that point of like success. And I think everybody wants him to put these gaudy numbers up. I just don't think that's in the cards for Lonzo, man. I think Lonzo is gonna be defined off him being a linchpin to success.
He's
I think
not a
that's gonna
point
be
stasher. I don't see
yeah.
him like watching him play from even from UCLA. I don't see him as a point guard. He's not a guy that will give you 50 points,
No,
30 points, 34. Yeah, that's his limit. But if he can give you, he's like a more of a 16, 17, 18 points per game type of
that's
guy.
what I call him, King of
That
16.
like that's the he's not gonna give you the like his ceiling. His highest is 18. If he gives
Yeah,
you 18, you should be happy with it because
yeah.
that is a successful season. For him to even have 14, yeah, he had a phenomenal season. Like, come on, y'all should not even be mad because that's the problem with today's generation. We're so much stat driven that we can't really
Exactly,
see what
exactly,
the intangibles are. Like
exactly.
there were times where Lamelo had two steals and certain rebounds, 0 points. We all cared about that he didn't score a single point. Now
Yep.
I was mad about that because I was like, come on, you can't be the third overall pick to score 0 points. Like you can't even score a point. But after understanding that and realizing what Lamelo's true playing style is, I'm like, it's normal. Let him grow. And next thing you know, 13 points, 34, 27, and so much more.
Well, here's the
Lonzo, on the
thing.
other hand, is a similar guy, except he's not multidimensional like his little brother is.
Agreed. And I'll say this, Tafik. When he had that game with 0 points, I didn't worry at all because I know he's always been a scorer his whole life. Score, score.
I
So you
was,
don't.
I was because I'm like, you're a scorer and you're the third overall pick, and you're supposed to. For me, I was expecting to score at least one to 2 points, even because he's that he has the scoring instinct. So I expect him to at least score a point because I would say, well, he tried.
Well, no. So here's the thing. So damn all that. I always project forward. Like he was like what 3 games, 3 games in when he had that game, and everybody was just going crazy. And people making these videos. I watch YouTube, man. I watch this sucker shit a lot of y'all people do. Y'all
Mhm.
ride these little 2, 3 game waves, and you cast aspersions on players. I'm like, man. I told DJ at the time. I told coach at the time. I'm like, man, give him 20 games, and you'll know what Lamelo Ball is. Because here's the thing: if you can score, you'll figure that part out because you don't have to think to do that. My thing was,
Yeah.
can LaMelo guard on this level? Can LaMelo shoot the three at this level? That's something he's been deficient at. That's what I've been watching. Because scoring, eventually, when he stop being nervous, he gonna do that like you wake up and eat cereal. I was
Yeah.
at no point ever worried about this, and I said this on record. You got to see like, can you guard your man at this level? Can you not be so nervous you're turning the ball over? That's what I was worried about. And he wasn't doing it. I was like,
But
he's gonna be fine. LaMelo Ball
but
is gonna
Hoop,
be
you
fine.
gotta understand that he didn't actually get into a defensive system until he got to Spire. Because his whole life he has
I
never been
understand that.
under a defensive system.
You still
So
got to show it though. I understand that. You still got to show you
so
can do it
even
though.
even when he got his rookie season, I'm even surprised he was playing defense. He was locking up people. He was the team's best defender.
Yeah.
Like they relied on him on defense before Brad Wanamaker showed up. And the funniest thing is that statistics prove that he's the most positive player on both sides of the ball. I think it's based on a points saved and points generated statistic, and Lamelo is at the top positive aspect on both sides of the ball, which to
Absolutely.
me just showed me that he's the best two-way player for that season for that team.
Well, I know. I'm just
But
saying.
but he was
In
not known for
moment,
defense. He
I
was not
got
known
you.
for defense.
I'm just saying in moment because those are things that lead to being a great player. Can you guard your position? Can you not turn the ball over? Can you put guys in position to score? That is the rubric for evaluating a good point guard. So when he wasn't scoring, I know what kind of player he is. I never worried about that. I'm talking about. thing that I was evaluating them on is, can you basically look good and do what you can do as a point guard playing in the NBA, the in between stuff, and that is gonna the stuff because that's stuff you have to work at. You got to work at defense, scoring. Either you're a scorer or you're not, and that's all your life prep has led you to that. So I'll give you an example. When I played in college, I probably averaged like 5-6 points a game. When I played overseas, I had to average like 20. And you know what? It was hard as shit for me because I'm not naturally a scorer. I'm a distributor. I'm pretty much like a Hakeem Warwick, and if Draymond Green and Hakeem Warwick had a baby, that'd be pretty much me. So I don't score. Like, it's not my first mind score. And you'll see with a lot of guys, they got to just master the stuff that's going to get you on the court and keep you on the court. Because everybody can score at NBA level. What can you
rebounding
do
matters
to win?
more in the
There
NBA.
There you go. Absolutely. That's my whole point. So, Taufiq, got any closing statements about Zoe before we go? Because I got to get to the
I
work.
think with Zoe, it's just like he gonna be fine. It's just that he needs to. The main important thing is for this free agency is to have a coach that will let him do what he does without any restriction. Because his whole life in the NBA, he has been restricted and chained to do one thing. Like, he went from being a guy that's standing in the corner. Even he was his whole life they wanted him to always play a 3-and-D role. Luke Walton wanted him to stand in the corner and be a 3-and-D point guard. He went to New Orleans, same thing with Point Zion, BS. Which Point Zion was not the problem. It's just that they're using it too much. So in this closing statement, I'll just say that Lonzo needs to go to a team that will let him do what he does best, which is distribute and facilitate. That's it.
There you go. I'm with it. And shout out to Ballfax hopping on, man. Next time we gotta have you hop on the stream, homie. So yeah, man. Thank y'all for all y'all tuning in. Zoe, wish the best for you. Like the homie Taufiq was saying, man, you give him opportunity to just do what he do. You're gonna see the best in him. Believe in him. Give him the opportunity. Confidence is everything, y'all. And I think we're gonna see very good things out of Lonzo Ball. I think a lot of people are gonna change their perspective of what they thought about him. And till next time, Hoop Jargon, we out. If you ain't like the stream, please do that. If you have not subbed to the channel, please do it.
Shout out to Hoop Jargon, man. I'm gonna add you to the crew, man. This crew called Hoop Jargon. They've been getting at it, man. They the ones that's gonna grill you, man, because they majority are all Houston people. So that's
shout out to Hoop Jargon.
Shout out to Hoop Jargon.